Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to welcome you to our second press conference introducing another 5 candidates. I'm Dr. Ang Yong Guan, Chairman of SingFirst, and I'm going to start from my right. You have been given a piece of paper, and it's according to the seat arrangement. Starting from my extreme right is Tan Peng Ann, community leader, social entrepreneur, and retired Army Colonel. Peng Ann has been working for 30 years in the Singapore Armed Forces, and I had the fortune of working with Peng Ann at the Central Manpower Base. I was a commanding officer of the Medical Classification Center, and she was instrumental in computerizing the whole CMPB then and introducing service quality to the organization, which led to the positive public perception of the entire NS enlistment process. I will leave it to Peng Ann to elaborate on his CV. Next to me is Sunun Hong. Sunun Hong has been managing his own chemical and marine hardware business since 1994, and he has been active in community work since his undergrad days. And then you have Dr. David Fu, Treasurer of SingFirst. He's a chemist and logistic professional, and currently doing research into the next generation of materials for bulk packaging. He has worked and taught in research institutes in the United States and Singapore, such as A-Star and Johnson & Johnson, and also worked in many, or rather a few multinational companies. I will leave it to him to elaborate. And lastly, last but not least, we have Sudes Singh. He's a retired police officer, and he has been with the police force for 31 years or more. After his retirement, he actually did community work at North Sulawesi from 2000 to 2013. And I think last year, we decided to go all out to support SingFirst. Now let me say something about this group. We have 2 former SAF colonel, and we have 1 former police officer, and 2 who have worked in MNCs and now run their own companies. So their experience in the private sector is crucial. So in terms of titles, we have colonels today, we have medical doctor, we have PhD doctor. We are heavier today. Titles are heavier today. Yesterday was the day of the young and the masters. All of them had master's degree. Today we are going to give you experienced candidates. Experience with the civil service before, experience with MNCs before, and we are all out here to serve. We are elected Singaporeans with our wealth of experience. Now let's start with Peng Ann.
Thank you, Yong Guan. Thank you for coming this morning. You want to hold the mic? It's okay, yeah, too. Thank you. I'm Tan Peng Ann. I'm 67 years of age. My friends ask me why at this age I would like to join politics. My response was simple. I could have gone on a KLKK journey. You know what KLKK? They are like that. And then another friend added in and said, why? CSS KLKK. He added another 3 more letters. And it stands for Cheng Sui Sui. I could have done that. But I chosen to come in because of various other reasons. I left the SCF after 30 years in the rank of colonel. And I've spent many years as a trainer and a community leader. All right, and even up to today, I do my community service in Cambodia. I've been a president of a Lions Club in Singapore. I've been a chairman of a community club in Singapore. I also have been a town councillor, right, in one of the town council. So I've been in community service for quite a few years, in fact many years, all right, and I've gained quite a bit of leadership and management experiences in these areas, all right. So I bring to the table my experience, all right, in order to be able to manage and lead the community. And I believe that I can contribute much to SingFirst, which I have joined after much talk with my friends Yong Guan and Jee Say. I'd like to bring to the table the ability to serve the community, the less fortunate, the less privileged, those staying in the second two-room flats, and the older generation of Singaporeans. I believe that many older Singaporeans need help, and I want to bring back to them the self-esteem. I studied at the Raffles Institution, and I've got a degree in political science and history, and I believe that with this education background, the leadership management experience I have, I can help Singaporeans better. Thank you.
All good. Thanks, Peng Ann. Now we proceed to Sunun Hong.
Good day, everyone. My name is Sunun Hong. Right now, I'm age 57. Deeply involved in community work since I was young, and even right in the days when I was in the University of Western Ontario in Canada. And over there, I've been actively involved in student politics, involving social program and some political program. Now, after I returned, actually I've worked in an American MNC, DuPont Chemical. And in 1994, after working several years in DuPont, I decided with another ex-colleague to set up a local trading firm, where right now, as mentioned by Dr. Ang, that I was involved in those marine accessory and also this chemical business. Now, why I'm actively involved in politics, that is not a simple thing that I've started. What happened is that over the last several years, I've been traveling in China and in the neighboring country like Vietnam, Malaysia. I noticed there's a disparity between our social and political program and development in Singapore, which I felt that we have somewhat deteriorated. And I felt a strong sense that I must do something in the last couple of years. And I was invited by my good friend, Dr. David Foo, to attend a dinner in Singapore that was sometime in March. And over there, that's when I decided to join, because I had looked at their manifesto and it stirs me up. And what happened is I realized that I need not only to restore the nation, but I need to restore three basic things: the Singapore dream, the Singapore spirit, and the Singapore identity. Thank you.
Okay. Now, you notice, I told you we have a lot of experience here. You notice that G50 actually should be G40 plus G10. The first 40 years, we were proud to be Singaporeans. We sang songs, Count on Me Singapore, Stand Up for Singapore, with gusto. But I'm afraid, and we felt esteemed as Singaporeans in G40, the first 40 years. But I'm afraid in the last 10 years, things have gotten worse. And one of the biggest issues is the influx of foreign workers, competing for space, competing for infrastructure, and competing for jobs as well. And I think people are restless, people are insecure, people are complaining a lot, and there's no safety net, social safety net, comprehensive enough. There's a lot of means testing. It's targeted and piecemeal. So SingFirst believe in a broader social safety net. So I want you all to realize why we all are involved. Partly because the last 10 years, out of the G50, has been very, very bad. And you heard from Sunun Hong, he felt that the last many years, things have gotten worse. Now we proceed to Dr. David Foo. David, your turn.
Hi, I'm David Fu. I'm a chemist by training and persuasion. My passion is chemistry. I view politics as a sense of responsibility. Right? Why am I involved in politics? I've seen the last 10 years with great concern. Right? With great concern because our economic growth has been achieved mainly through addition of labor and capital, mainly through that. So over the last 10 years, what have we seen? We have seen income stagnating. All right? And the average incomes of most Singaporeans, the competition now, the income split is not between the average earners and the rich, but also between citizens and foreigners, between private and state-owned companies. So this is not a sustainable situation for any country to be in. All right? So what we want to do is, we want to present proposals during the next couple of days to tell you that, and it's based on the principle that if you don't value yourself and you don't respect yourself, no one else will. So we need to create an environment that will enable our citizens to build a self-esteem based on mutual respect between the government and the people. And this is an important pivot to growth. All right? So our past successes for the past 40, 50 years has been dependent on our citizen human resources. Today, I think we need to empower our citizens to develop a strong Singaporean business community based on knowledge creation at the heart of economic growth, driving it. And this is something that we have failed to do for the last 50 years, and we cannot have more of the same. Thank you.
Yep. David. Okay, now I hand over to Sudes. Over to you, Sudes.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I'm Sudes. I've served the Singapore Police Force for 31 years plus. Variety of duties, public relations, working with the community, helping the community, everything to do with the community, meeting with the good, the bad and the ugly, and along the way, learning a lot. I was also a trainer for police officers at the police academy for close to 12 years. Whatever knowledge I gained over the years, I started imparting to them. So, which means whatever I know, I'm giving forward to these new officers. I spent about 13 years in broken periods in Sulawesi province after my retirement. And I worked among the poor, the homeless, those in need. But I never forget the cries of my Singapore. Things were not going well for the last 10 years. I decided to return from Manado, the capital of Sulawesi. I was drawn by the good attributes of SingFirst, and I decided that SingFirst is going to be my platform to further serve the community. I am 64. I'm still young. I possess a lot of experience, and I will contribute to the best of my ability by working hand in hand with my colleagues. Okay, my hobbies are reading, writing, and I got a lot of inspiration when I was sitting in picturesque Sulawesi by the sea, seeing the life goes on and all that. I started writing. I became very active in my Facebook. My Facebook likes started increasing, the shares started increasing, and I felt I'm so happy. I have to contribute further. All right, and finally, I speak English. I speak Malay very fluently. I speak Bahasa Indonesia. I speak Hindi. I speak Punjabi. I speak Hokkien. And I speak KQ a little.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Now a little bit about myself before we open for Q&A. I am a psychiatrist in private practice. I was with the Singapore Armed Forces for 23 years, retiring in 2003 with the rank of Colonel. I've held various leadership positions. I was president of the Singapore Psychiatric Association. I was chairman of the Chapter of Psychiatrists, Academy of Medicine. I was a member of the Council, National Council on Problem Gambling. And I started a group called Action for Mental Illness, championing for those with mental illness. And I was a chairman for about 10 years. I'm now a member of the panel of medical experts for the Subordinate Courts for 3 years. I've been an active grassroots leader for 15 over years, holding key appointment as secretary of the CCC, Citizen Consultative Committee, and I was chairman of a community club. Like Peng Ann, we were serving, remember, the G40 period. Very happy, felt esteemed, we were contributing. But unfortunately, the G10, the last 10 years, we have been quite disappointed with what's going on in the nation. So we want to restore our nation, and that's on your pamphlets that you have been given, restore our nations in 4 languages. Okay? Restore our jobs, restore our place, restore our pride. And this is in keeping with our vision of a fair society, strong families, and esteemed people. You realize that the 4 candidates always inevitably go back to the word esteem. They feel that Singaporeans are getting more insecure and more kiasu. Kiasuism is part of our culture. In fact, Oxford Dictionary, I think, included that word already, kiasuism. And we are so insecure, we're all complaining of stress. We're all complaining of stress. Something must be done before things get worse. There's a suicide every day in Singapore. 300 over suicides a year. When you hit 400, it is SOS. Very serious situation. So something is lacking, and I feel that as a psychiatrist, I can contribute a lot in terms of emotional well-being of Singaporeans. Study policies that have implication on the emotional health of Singaporeans, and telling the government recommendations, proposing to the government recommendations to promote mental well-being and mental health of Singaporeans.